Hello, I'm Dr. David Feeney, back again with EDU512 in the news, where we link this week's learning objectives to education in the news. This is for week 11, Saturday, March 22nd, 2014. Let's check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, you know it's fist bumping time. The focus today is on celebrating that we're wrapping up our course. It's week 11 and you've made it through. So go ahead, put your fist up to the screen. Don't leave me hanging. You know you want to do it. Go ahead, bump it, people. Bump it. On the screen, you'll see our discussion board for our online course and one of the EDU 512 in the news videos as they appear in the discussion. Did you know we've exchanged almost 1,400 discussion posts this quarter? My focus today is on some of the material that I've learned from you in the process of you interacting with discussions and specifically with the In the News videos each week. By focusing on your voices in our discussions, interacting with our videos, addressing commentary and controversy, keeping it positive, keeping it focused, I call it keeping it real. Don't worry. All names and other information have been taken out. It's completely anonymous, and this allows me to tell you how much you have taught me this quarter at keeping it real. Let's check it out. My goal with the In the News videos was to add real-time, live, visual, and audio commentary to our weekly learning objectives that brought in news and popular culture to stimulate your responses and discussions and back to me. And to a large extent, it worked well. Here's a comment from one student. Dr. Feeney, after watching your In the News video, I would like to chime in on small schools undermining diversity. Schools will encounter problems regardless of the school size. Schools have their own teachers, programs, and identities. To fully characterize small schools by having an enrollment of 300 to 500 students, like-minded teachers and families as well as communities. The inclusiveness and the diversity of so many students will allow each one of them to learn from each other on academic and achievement levels. Alright, so almost immediately, me mixing in video and audio commentary each week had more engagement and more discussion. Fist bump time. In reacting to the videos each week, many students kept it real by sharing their concerns and anxieties about problems that, frankly, we may struggle together to solve over the long term. One student wrote, Dr. Feeney, thank you for your weekly videos. Transgender is going to become a big issue in athletics. Only 5 states have made decisions for participating in sports. I've had young ladies that were lesbians on my team, and I allowed them to go and dress before other young ladies came in the locker room because parents had expressed their concerns. Now we will have to get into boys wanting to participate in girls-only sports. What a problem that is going to cause. Even the schools and the local board are going to have to start making allowances for these students so that they will be able to get a quality and equal education as their peers. And they still risk being bullied and made a spectacle of because they are different. And then you see a hyperlink that the student presented back to me in the rest of the course, which is one of the most powerful ways to communicate and cycle knowledge back to all of us. On the screen, you'll see that the student went to a reputable news source locally and fed all of us the hyperlink related to the transgender advocacy, which is exactly the kind of instructional engagement that we're looking for and was the goal of the EDU 512 in the news videos. One of the best outcomes of mashing up video and audio media each week and getting students' responses is that they not only inform me of what's going on around them, but they told me about creative solutions that they took in order to make their classrooms better and help their students learn. This student writes, Dr. Feeney, I found your video to be very informative. I agree that we as educators not only need to educate students, but also educate them how to use resources. I was truly amazed to learn how many students don't have the knowledge to find materials in the school library. They don't know how to use the Dewey system or realize that items are categorized by author name too. The students of the future need to have the means of educating themselves too. We need to teach them how to be creative, intuitive, and have the willingness to explore. So from my perspective, when students engage with a course and there are outcomes that not only help the student, but also the people around them, make classrooms better and students' lives better, it is truly fist bumping time, even if there are some folks who don't quite understand exactly how to bump a fist. I want to wrap up today's presentation with an example of a student who responded to a video about parent engagement and dropout rates with a story that not only expressed disagreement, which is always okay, but was an inspiring, true story about educational attainment. This student writes, "Dr. Feeney, with all due respect, I have to disagree with your video regarding dropout rates and parent engagement. I dropped out of school my senior year with 6 weeks of school left. I was a student with a single parent, and my mother was constantly at my high school. Not due to my behavior or grades, I had a 4.0 GPA. It was due to gang violence, bullying, and drugs in the school. Due to this, I dropped out along with many of my friends. I went back and took my GED, passed, and never looked back. But I feel I was robbed of walking across the stage and getting my diploma in my cap and gown that I worked so hard for." In conclusion, I just want to say to all the EDU 512 students with their inspiring stories and their shared concerns, the way we came together as a group changed me. And to you I say, much respect. For EDU 512, I'm Dr. David Feeney, saying, talk to you soon, take care, God bless, and bye now.